Well, good morning, everyone. Sounds like you're enjoying the company and enjoying the food. I'm Greg Canahan, one of the Board of Director members, and RD can't be here today, and Tony has deferred to me, so I guess you can say I got the short straw. But before we begin, we want to acknowledge that as a board, we have come to that realization that we have an important responsibility to acknowledge the ground in which we are privileged to gather on. So at this time, we want to do a land acknowledgement, and it goes as follows. We acknowledge the original inhabitants of this area, the Snohomish people, and their successor, the Tulalip tribes. Since time immortal, they have hunted, fished, gathered, and taken care of these lands. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and honor their sacred spiritual connection with land and water. We will strive to be honest about our past mistakes and bring about a future that includes their people, stories, and voices to form a more just and equitable society. If you would join me in welcoming our CEO, Yvonne Sepulveda.
Good morning, everyone. Can we give Greg another round of applause, please? Like Greg said, my name is Yvonne Sepulveda. I'm the President CEO for the Greater Marysville Tulalip Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being here this morning. I'm going to introduce our elected officials in the room. If you can please hold your applause till the end. And elected officials, if you can please wave. Mayor John Nehring, Councilmember Steve Mueller, Councilmember Mark James, Councilmember Camille Norton, Councilmember Peter Condelius, Councilmember Tom King. If we can give them all a round of applause. Representing Tulalip government today, we have Mel Sheldon. Can we give him a round of applause? And elected officials, we have Nate Nehring and Sid Logan. Can we give them a round of applause? Now I'd like to introduce our chamber board members. If you can please wave and hold your applause till the end as well. Tony Matthews, Renee James, Jonathan Yepes-Carino, Greg Canahan, Peter Rudolph, Michelle Hernandez, Connie Meny, Tracy Goldsby, Kevin Daniels, Felicia Kreider, Sharon Gomez-Pascual, Catherine Soper, Scott Peterson, Sam Samano, and Van Titus. Can we give them all a round of applause? Now I'd like to introduce this morning's sponsor. If we can give Charles Masters from Ace Handyman Services a round and welcome to the stage.
Good morning. Okay, I hate to do this, but I have an eye condition and these lights kill me, so I've got to put these on. So, not that I'm trying to be super cool. My name's Charles Masters. I'm the owner of Ace Handyman Services, Puget Sound, and Snowco. We have locations in an office in Arlington and Everett. We cover all of Snohomish County. And I want to thank everybody in this room that helped participate, and we were voted Best Snohomish County Handyman Service for 2022. So thank you for that. So when we started this business, it wasn't just, we're going to start a business. We had a very specific why we started this business, and it was because we saw that there was a need for home services that wasn't being filled. My wife, Crystal, she couldn't make it today, but she spent 10 years taking care of her grandparents through their end of life. And there wasn't service for home repairs out there that met the needs that they had. And so we knew that we could make a difference in the community by offering services and being ethical and trustworthy. That was a big factor for us. So we'd like to talk about how we're just your home ally. That's one more thing that you can put in your toolbox of having us there to know that we can take care of your needs in the home. And this company started over 25 years ago with the vision of bringing ethics and integrity to home improvement. And 4 years ago now, Ace Hardware bought the previous franchise, which was Handyman Matters, because they knew that the home services industry was growing, and they wanted to capitalize on the fact that Ace Hardware is the 5th most trusted brand in the country, and they could leverage that in the home service industry. And so one of the things that sets us different is we hire multi-skilled craftsmen that are just not specific to one type of project. And we hear a lot about, I need somebody that can do 10 different things, and that's what our craftsmen can do. The other thing that sets us apart is we have specific times. So we're not the cable guy. We won't be there between noon and 4. We'll be there at 8 a.m. or 1 p.m. So I've been to a lot of homes where customers had us out after they've had several other people out. And the first thing we ask is, what do you want? What are you looking for? How do you want this to turn out? And we get told time over time over time, the other guy just told me this is what he was going to do. That's not us. We listen to our customer, and we want to provide the service in a way that you want it to be done as long as it's viable for your situation. All our craftsmen are vetted, background checked, so you can feel safe having them in your home. Like I said, we do exact scheduling. We make a night before call for the craftsman to go over your project with you. Customer gets a text when the craftsman's on their way. Our work, we warranty our work for a year. And I'm just going to jump ahead here to something that. So, this is a little story about our favorite customer, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara turned 90 last 2 months ago, and she was our very first customer. And this past November, when we had the big windstorm, her front porch on her mobile home blew off. Not just blew off, but it blew up onto the roof, over the roof, and hung up in a tree on the backside. Miss Barbara slept through the whole thing. She called me the next morning and said, I think I've got a problem. And so I hurried out there and said, yes, you have a problem. She wasn't sure what happened. She didn't know where her patio cover was. It wasn't until I pointed out that it was in her tree in her backyard. I worked with her through the insurance process, met with the adjuster, just kind of took care of all of those things for her to help her through the process. And then we got to work and we rebuilt with a patio cover that's much better than what she had before. She's extremely happy. She's on 167, and she gets comments all the time from friends that say, I just drove by your house, your new porch looks beautiful, and she's just thrilled to death about it. So those are the type of things, and that's part of our why. We'd love to help you. Don't hesitate to give us a call. We're ready to start booking jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Can we give him another round of applause, please? So we only have 3 sponsorships left for the year, so if you're interested in sponsoring just like Charles just did, let us know. Now let me welcome our next speaker, Mayor of Marysville, Mayor of Marysville, John Nehring, to give his annual State of the City address. Mayor Nehring has been serving as the Mayor of Marysville since 2010 and was a member of the Marysville City Council for 8 years before that. Mayor Nehring is a tireless advocate for the city of Marysville and its many businesses. Please join me in welcoming Mayor John Nehring.
Welcome to this year's State of the City presentation. Appreciate you taking the time to listen. I'm excited to share with you some of the many accomplishments of 2022, the exciting things that we're able to do, and also look forward to 2023. There's a lot going on and a lot that we're planning here for this coming year. And so this is always one of my favorite times of the year to deliver the State of the City address, a good opportunity to let you know of what's going on here and also take some questions here at the end. And so looking forward to it. Thanks again.
What we've done over the last 20 to 25 years is create a climate, I think, where people can live, work, and play in Marysville.
If you've never attended a coffee class before, regardless of how you attend it, I like to hold these every few months just to give citizens an opportunity in more of an informal atmosphere to ask questions and provide feedback to the city. really are proud of the building, obviously, but also the community area out here, the amphitheater, and everything that goes with this is just kind of a cultural center of the community. So we hope it'll be a place that everybody can enjoy for several years, and we're just really pleased. Bringing multiple departments under one roof has really provided a lot of efficiencies and a much better workflow for the city, as well as a one-stop shop for citizens, for the community, to come in, and basically whoever you need to meet with, you can meet with here for the most part. The community understands that we need to progress, and as the community grows, we need bigger buildings, newer buildings, more energy efficient buildings that are ultimately cheaper for the taxpayer and all of that. But we don't want to lose our cultural history. We don't want to lose all of that. And so the council has been very diligent about funding and preserving that beautiful water tower, which now adds so much to this. Is basically, you know, as you look east from anywhere in this building, that just pops right through and it just looks fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks to Bridget and Connie and the team for putting that together. And that concludes the State of the City address for this morning. Are there any questions? No, I do. This is the second year we've kicked it off with a video. I think it's a great way to kind of give you a snapshot of what went on throughout the year. So appreciate them putting that awesome video together. I do want to take a moment at the outset to recognize a few folks. You know, I really appreciate the opportunity to do that because there's so many people that work so hard to accomplish a lot of the things that you'll see here today. I want to start with our city council members. I know they were already introduced. I'll just run through their names again. Our council president, Camille Norton, Councilmember Steve Muller, Councilmember Tom King, Councilmember Michael Stevens, Councilmember Kelly Richards, Councilmember Peter Candelius, and Councilmember Mark James. Yeah, I do get asked a lot at different events with other mayors, you know, about why Marysville seems to function, you know, as well as it does. And I do tell them this, and this is the honest truth. We have a highly functioning city council, a council that certainly doesn't always vote together or doesn't, you know, we don't always agree, but it's a council that moves forward with a singular vision to make the city better and checks their egos at the door. And I just appreciate the highly functioning work that they do every day, and there's not drama in City of Marysville government. If there's disagreements, they're honest disagreements, and then there's a lot of mutual respect. And, you know, when votes are over, people move on. So if you could give our council a hand, I would appreciate it. They just do a great job. And then the team that I get the pleasure of working the closest with is our senior leadership team. And, you know, they don't often get an opportunity to come up and share what happens in their department. I get to do that on their behalf. But I would like to recognize them, if they can maybe just raise their hand. Our Chief Administrative Officer, Gloria Hiroshima. She does an amazing job. Police Chief, Eric Scarpin. Public Works Director, Jeff Laycock. Parks, Culture, and Recreation Director, Tara Mizell. Our Community Development Director, Haley Miller. Our Human Resources Director, Megan Hodgson. Our IS Director, Stefan Doherty. And you know, I also want to recognize another individual, Board Member Mel Sheldon in the audience here today. I appreciate Mel coming. Mel's been an amazing partner with Marysville over the years. The entire Tulalip community has in the Tulalip board, but Mel and I go back the longest, I think, because I think we've both served roughly the same amount of time. So we have a lot of history together, really respect the work that Board Member Sheldon does and that the entire Tulalip board does. We're working really closely with them on some projects right now, and appreciate the ability to partner with them year over year. CEO of Community Transit, Rick Elgenfritz, is here as well. I enjoy working with him. I'm on their board. Thanks for coming, Rick. And then I did want to recognize Connie Meny, our communications officer, who's done a ton of work on this State of the City speech, and Bridget Larson as well, communications specialist, and Leah Taco, who is over here as well helping out. If you could give them all a hand, I would appreciate it. And last but not least, thank you, Yvonne, for all the work you do here at the Chamber. Our Chamber is really functioning incredibly, and clicking on all cylinders. Yvonne's really taken it to the next level, so thanks for that, and thanks for the opportunity to speak here today. So there's a snapshot, a city snapshot. I like to start with this every year of our residents. The 20.88 square miles is important too. Had a good conversation with a citizen yesterday just about different things on streets and roads and striping and all of that. You know, when you think about it, Marysville from all the way south to from Sunnyside all the way north through the Costco area and even a little beyond that on the west side of the I-5. And from I-5 all the way east to Highway 9, there's a ton of lane miles that we cover. And so it's a good perspective, I think, to think about sometimes when we go through some of this stuff. 18th largest city in the state. And we start with city budget, as always, because without a city budget, you can't accomplish anything. There gives you a little pie chart. Enterprise funds would be the things that are funded, like your water, your sewer, your garbage. They're basically fee-based. So you can't take enterprise funds and move them in and fund police or streets with that. So I think that's always important when looking at a budget. The budget that you really have the ability to prioritize is that general fund piece over there. And if you take a look at our overall property taxes, if we could go back to that other slide just real quick. When you get your property tax bill, 10% of that bill goes to the city of Marysville. So a lot of times people open up their property tax bill and they associate that with the city of Marysville maybe largely. And there is a portion of it, but it's only about 11% of your overall property tax bill. And we have not raised, I don't propose this in our budget, and the city council has been very diligent about not raising the city's portion of the property tax for over a decade now. I think my guess is we're probably the only city in Washington state that has done that. Most cities take the allowable amount of 1% every single year automatically, and that's fine. I mean, the cities do what they need to do, but in Marysville, we've kind of made the decision that if we can live without that, we will, and for over the last decade, that's been the case. So the property tax rate on your property tax bill from the city of Marysville hasn't been raised in that amount of time. That Standard & Poor's bond rating is crucial also in how much we can save the taxpayers in debt. We get a lower interest rate because of that. It's been raised a couple of times in the last few years. And that shows that the confidence in the investment community in the operation of the city and the financial strength and stewardship of the city. So that's important. Moving on to the next page there, how are your funds spent? How are your tax dollars spent? That gives you a rough breakdown. You know, you can go on the city website. I just looked at this the other day just to make sure it was still operating before I got up here and talked about it. We have something called Open Checkbook on our website. So I'm giving you a high-level detail here, but if you wanted to go drill down to each department, down to the almost, I think, basically to the line item, you can do that in what's called Open Checkbook on our city website. We're transparent with our finances. It's your money. We pay the same taxes you do. The council and I all live in the city. That's a requirement, obviously, for running for office here. So we pay every tax you pay. And so we obviously have the same interest that you do in making sure that the money is spent very effectively. So obviously public safety receives the bulk of the general fund dollars. And then if you look at public works with regards to enterprise funds, water, sewer, garbage, and other things, that is a hefty piece of that. So why don't we move on here to some of the other funding sources? We're really excited about, as a community, we've grown large enough to get our own community development block grant funds. These are federal dollars that if you're a smaller city, it goes through the county, you apply through the county and whatnot. We get our own now. So we got about $626,000 in community development block grant funds. I think that's a 2-year allocation that we were able to send out into the community for a number of things. These go typically to help areas of the community that are a little lower income or in need of repairs. We help with seniors with minor home repairs with this money. There was a Boys and Girls Club facility upgrade. We did some crosswalks and flashing beacons on 7th and Columbia, 8th and Columbia, 7th and Alder for safety measures. So those are just some of the things that those funds are used for. But then there's also community service grants that we put into the community. The council sets aside money for community service grants. About $200,000 were put out this past year to the food bank, backpacks, seniors, Meals on Wheels, things of that nature. Homeless support services like our cold weather shelter, which is absolutely essential right now with the weather we're experiencing. Rental and housing assistance, senior disabled chore services and whatnot. And a lot of that's accomplished through nonprofits, many of which you see up here. But I also want to highlight that these nonprofits, so outside of the funds that I just talked about, these nonprofits and all the nonprofits who operate in Marysville, I'm so grateful for them, the amazing work that they do. And rather than try and sit up here and list them all, we tried to put them up here. But really take a look at that and understand that this is such a team effort to take care of the needs of our community. And these nonprofits here do amazing work and are worth your support if you're so inclined. So when we talked about the general fund and public safety, that is where the key priorities of the community are at. If you survey any community these days, public safety is on the top of everybody's mind all throughout the country. Here's a look at our calls for service. You can see there we had a little over 61,000 calls for service. It's about 3.8% fewer than last year. But as you turn the page to the overall crime level, you'll notice, and I've been talking about this for a couple of years now, the crime levels have gone up over the last year and a half or so. We've experienced about a 21% increase in crime here compared to 2021. The 4-year average of crime levels is up about 15%. Because of the lockdown in 2020, you'll see that we had an inordinate dip there. We were on a steady downward trend, but we had quite a dip in 2020 with the lockdowns. That'll kind of skew our numbers probably for our 4-year average for obviously the next couple of years or so, because that was an inordinate year where everybody was at home and it was a lot harder to break into houses and cars when you're not out and doing a lot of things. But I do want to say that we are concerned about crime. Chief Scarpin put a quote here that I'd like to read. I believe state legislative changes have had a severe impact on our crime levels. Before these changes, I would have projected our crime levels to indicate about 300 fewer crimes in our major crime categories than we actually experience now. I completely agree. I've been talking about this. I talked about it last year at the State of the City. I'm talking about it again this year. There's a number of reasons why crime's gone up, but not the least of which is there were some key legislative changes made in 2021 that took effect in July of 2021. I'm going to name 2 of them here, because they're the ones we're working closely with our state legislators on. That is the Blake decision that came from the state Supreme Court, and then a law was codified by the state legislature that essentially legalized the majority of drugs in the state. So where our police officers used to go out and deal with people possessing drugs on the streets, they can no longer do that. So if we walk out of here, and if I go back and in Comfort Park right there by the Civic Campus, there's somebody in possession of drugs, or an officer sees this, and they go up to them, and they've never dealt with this individual before, they can offer them services, treatment services, and that individual can say, I don't want to take it, and there's nothing else they can do. They walk back into the community and continue doing what they're doing, which oftentimes means stealing from stores and law-abiding citizens to feed a drug habit. Let's be honest about it. If that happens a second time in our community, same thing happens. Do you want services? No, I don't. Okay, back into the community they go. Only on the third time, if they're still in our community and haven't moved on, and if you can catch them a third time, can you offer them services? And if they refuse, then you can prosecute the crimes that they've committed. That's a real problem. Not because we want to throw people in jail for drug issues. That's not the case. And I can tell you that evidence provides that. Marysville's had an aggressive embedded social worker program for about 5 or 6 years now, where we were already leading with compassion, just like most communities around here. We were already offering drug treatment in lieu of prosecution and jail time, and it was working. You know why it was working? It was working because people said, if I have to choose between going to jail, where I'm going to detox anyway in a pretty difficult fashion, or going to a proper facility with a roof over my head and meals and all the medical care I need, that's probably a better option. But when the option now is, I can just say, take a hike to the officer and continue doing, the drugs that I'm doing, that's a lot less likely to get that person into treatment, because they don't have that accountability on the other end that kind of forces them into the right decision. And we also know that putting people in jail that are in this situation is often a temporary thing. A good chunk of our referrals into treatment from our social workers were coming out of our jail. So we would tell people, we would like to get you into treatment. We don't want to prosecute all these crimes, the robberies, the trespassing, the drug paraphernalia, the drug dealing, whatever it was. Let's get the root of the problem taken care of, get you back working again, back with your family that's maybe disowned you. Let's do all that. And we had a very effective program at that. But sometimes they would say no, absolutely. And if they were prosecuted and put in jail, a lot of times what happened is they would detox in jail. They would think, do I really want to go back out and go through this all over again? And they would call our social worker up and say, can I take that treatment bed option? And we would absolutely do that. We had graduated, and to date, I think we've graduated over 175 people through drug treatment. That's amazing in a city of our size. 175 people, more than that, yeah. Give a hand to our team. And so, and you can see some of the stats just from this last year. We're still graduating people out, but it's become more difficult. Our team has gotten to that third referral on a number of people. We're one of the few communities that's been really diligent about tracking that because it's not easy. So we're still able to have some measure of success. The other one I want to mention briefly is the pursuit law. So the state legislature also passed a law that you cannot pursue in almost any instance except for a really violent crime. Again, local communities had already taken care of this for the most part. Very few communities were pursuing, only under the extreme circumstances. Marysville had ratcheted pursuit. Chief Scarpin had ratcheted those way down. We almost never pursued because they are dangerous. But what's the problem, I'll tell you, when you say to the criminal world, hey, guess what? You cannot be pursued. Then you get what you have today. Stories that you see all over the news where people don't even stop for speeding tickets on I-5 anymore. They just blow right by the officer because they can't pursue them. You have what you have in our community where 7 police cars have been rammed over the last year or so as people know if they can get away from the cops, they can't be pursued. You walk out of a Fred Meyer and you've stolen goods, and if you can get to your car and get away before the officer's there, nobody can follow, nobody can chase after you. It's announcing to the criminal world that we will never pursue you that invites this kind of thing. Look, I think in all honesty, the state legislature had good intentions in these laws. They were wrestling with things, and they were trying to find solutions, and I respect that. And I think we found that there was a lot of really bad unintended consequences that have really harmed communities and created crime situations like was on that table. We had dropped crime for 6 years in a row until those laws took effect. From 2014 through 2020 there, and then you see those laws take effect in 2021 and up crime goes. And so I'm not saying that's the only reason crime went up, but it's a major reason that it did. So what are we doing about it? I will say that our city council has been amazingly aggressive on this front. We'll talk about a couple measures they took. As mayor, I'm co-leading a group called Mayors and Business Leaders for Public Safety. If you're interested in this, you can email me at jnehring@marysvillewa.gov, or you can just go on our website and find my email there if you don't want to write it down. But this group is growing. We have 16 mayors in Snohomish County, almost every single mayor in the county, over a dozen business leaders that have signed on to this group. And what our goal is to have this be an ongoing, this is probably a multi-year effort. Our first goal right now is working with our state legislators to get those laws that I just mentioned changed. I'm proud to say that we have 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats of our local delegation in Snohomish County working really closely with us on this. And kudos to them. That's not easy. It's not easy to say, hey, we passed some laws that maybe need to be taken a look at. We've all done that, right? We've all done things in government where there's unintended consequences. So kudos to them for being willing to take a second look. And I'm really pleased to say that out of this group has come a bill on that Blake decision that I talked about. Senator June Robinson has put forward a bill, Senate Bill 5636. It's not a perfect bill right now. No bill is perfect, but she's working closely with us. We just communicated some thoughts that we had on how it could be even better. And I know she's working diligently on that, as is our entire delegation that I mentioned, both sides of the aisle. I hope we'll get a Blake fix out of that bill. If we don't, it certainly won't be due to the lack of effort from our local legislators, so they deserve credit. And we as mayors and business leaders for public safety and our city council will continue to battle on this front until the last day of the legislative session. Council and I were down in Olympia talking about this with, we had I think 11 meetings in one day. This is one of the key topics I discussed. So we're united on this, the city council and I. So I just wanted to kind of walk through that. There's a pursuit fix as well. The pursuit bills that we're working on would give more local control back to our police departments to make those judgment calls. So our embedded social worker team, we talked a little bit about. there's some of the great work that they do. I won't belabor the point, but essentially they go out into the community, look for people suffering from addiction, and we try to get at the root cause of the crimes, right? They're stealing because they're feeding a drug habit. If we can fix the drug habit, we don't need the process of cycling them in and out of jail all the time. I could tell you a bunch of stories. I've done that in other state of the cities, but suffice to say, it's been personally satisfying to have people reach out to me that have gone through our program thanks to the team on the field and are now back with families, employed, supporting their families, going to Little League games with their kids again, instead of sitting out under a bridge somewhere waiting to probably die at some point. Code enforcement. So code enforcement falls under our police department as well. They do a fantastic job. This is where we try to keep the community clean. We've done a Clean Up Marysville campaign for several years now. Code enforcement team does an amazing job. This is all, for the most part, voluntary compliance. If we see a yard that's really out of control with garbage, trash, or cars parked in lawns, or with no tabs on them, you see all kinds of things. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. If you drive by something and go, "Wow, I wouldn't want to live by that," that's something that our code enforcement team is probably dealing with. On a few rare occasions, we do have to move to fines, and even on extremely rare occasions, 5 times this year, to criminal citations with people that usually there's an issue there where they just refuse to help. Sometimes there's different activities going on in a house like that too that you need to deal with. But this team does an outstanding job. I'm so proud of the work they do to keep our community clean. So our custody team as well is doing an amazing job. We have a new modern facility now. I'll talk a little bit about that later. Jail facility. That's the amount of jail bookings we had this year. I will tell you, we're really grateful to the community for supporting the measure a few years ago, passing the measure that funded this public safety building. And then we used some other funds to fund the rest of the civic campus. But why is it that we needed a new jail and a modern jail? It's not glamorous to build jails. There's nothing really exciting about that. We've talked about that a lot. But let me tell you, there's 2 cities in this county that have their own jail, Linwood and Marysville. If you live in a community that does not have a municipal jail, a lot of times you're catching and releasing criminals because there might not be room in a different facility, or it's just too expensive in a different facility to deal with certain kinds of crimes. So when you have a facility in your own community, it tells the criminal element that we mean business, that we will take you from the street to that facility in about 5 minutes, and you'll be in there. We don't have the reputation of, hey, if you do a crime here, they don't even have a jail facility, they don't have their own municipal court, you'll probably just get released. That makes a real difference in the effectiveness for our police officers. Another issue we had was our old facility on Grove was built in the early to mid-1980s when we were a community of under 20,000. We're now 72,000. So it was a badly outdated facility. We had police officers working in every nook and cranny of that thing. I think there were some even in glorified closets, if I remember right. And the problem with that facility was a dorm facility. I think we had 5 dorms in there. So you had about 16 inmates in each dorm, or not in each dorm, I'm sorry, the capacity was around 40. But you had several inmates in each dorm. But the inmate population has greatly changed over the last several years. A lot of people coming into jail now are dealing with a drug addiction, and they have to be detoxed. And we do have medical care in our facility. They get treatment and medical care. But you can't leave them with other inmates. You just can't do it. I won't describe to you what goes on in that type of situation, but it's not pleasant, particularly with fentanyl, and it lasts several days. And so what we were having to do is clear out entire dorms in our old facility. Well, imagine that. You're taking about 20% of the potential population away for one person. New modern facilities don't have those dorms. They have pods, so you have 2-person pods. And so we have 100 pods, or 50 pods, I believe, in here. 100 people can fit in there. But you clear out 1 pod, you still got the capacity for 98. You clear out 2, you still got 96, more than enough, as opposed to clearing out a couple of dorms in the old facility and maybe lopping 40% of your ability to incarcerate. So that's critical as well. So I'd just like to explain to people why we're grateful that you passed that and how effective it's made us as a community in policing. Hiring and recruiting, this is a concern for police departments all across the state. It's one thing our group will be dealing with as well, is trying to change the culture in this state to one that makes it more hospitable to people wanting to enter this profession. We used to attract police officers from all over, lateral police officers from Montana, Idaho, wherever, you name it, Utah. That doesn't happen anymore. The word's out on the street that most people from out of state refuse to come to Washington State and practice policing anymore because some of the things that we're dealing with here. But we'll get there. But in the meantime, our team's been done a great job. We've hired 26 new employees for our police department, 11 patrol officers, 8 custody officers, 2 community services officers, a code enforcement officer, a community support specialist, and 3 police techs. We still do, though, have need for, I know, at least 10 officer positions still open. We're only deploying about 73% of the positions the council has budgeted for our police department. We don't have a money problem in funding our police department. We have a problem that every city across the state basically right now is facing, and that's finding enough people that want to practice the profession of policing. So thankful to the Marysville community that you are so supportive of your police force. They feel that, and it makes a difference here in Marysville. So some stats. I want to do one thing. I mentioned the council did earlier this year, which has gained a lot of notoriety. They passed 2 ordinances that I think were critical. So we got together with the chief and I and our city attorney and worked with the city council on these ordinances. One is a public drug use ordinance. So I mentioned to you that Blake decision. That covered public drug possession. That needs to be fixed. That is the critical thing that needs to be fixed. It's far more effective to police based on just finding and possessing. But the state was silent on drug use. So where the state overrode what cities wanted to do with drug possession, they're silent on public drug use, because what you used to prosecute public drug use under was the possession law. We all prosecuted it under possession. Well, that went away. So our council said, well, we'll go ahead and pass this public drug use ordinance. And so if our officers find somebody using publicly, which does happen quite a bit, we've had 42 arrests under this since mid-December when it was passed. So that gives us a tool to, again, lead with compassion, try and get them into treatment, but have some teeth behind it. The other was a disruptive transit behavior. CEO Rick Ilgenfritz and Community Transit's done a lot in this area as well. We just localized that so we could prosecute that locally and didn't have to depend on somebody else being willing to prosecute it at a higher level. So on to emergency management. We have a great emergency management team in-house. We hosted or participated in 50 public activities. The city offers a free program, by the way, to help your business prepare for disasters, scalable to meet your business needs. If you're interested in that, see one of us, and we can connect you with our emergency management team. You can also sign up to receive emergency alert texts for the city. We have a Spanish language alert option as well. Cassidy, where are you? Cassidy is here. There's Cassidy. Raise your hand high. You can see Cassidy if you want to get more information. She does a great job, and I think she's got a table over here as well. So in a growing city, infrastructure is critical. And in a growing city, when you have business growth, you really gain a lot of need for infrastructure as well as housing growth. But I want to show you the new businesses that were welcomed here. This is by no means exhaustive. In fact, Yvonne could probably point out some we've missed, but really proud that we're a business-friendly community. The council and I and the city staff take that very seriously. Haley, our community development director, has done a great job making the business process efficient in Marysville. I wanted to highlight one, Solely Organics. There is an interesting business. These are some of the fun businesses we're attracting in our Cascade Industrial Center. They produce 100% USDA certified organic produce for distribution in over 20,000 retail stores nationwide. So we've really attracted some impressive companies out in that Cascade Industrial Center and a number of others throughout the city that you see here. So what's coming in 23? Here's a few of the ones. Again, not exhaustive at all. Our goal in this Cascade Industrial Center, which is out in the north part of the community from 132nd through about 164th on the east side of State Avenue, and it goes through Arlington, beyond the Arlington Airport. So the goal there is to attract family wage jobs and hopefully provide our community and our kids growing up in our schools an opportunity to work close to home. One of the really neat companies here, if I could highlight one that I got to meet with a few weeks ago, is Gravitics. You know, Gravitics manufactures space modules for living or working in outer space. And so, as I mentioned at another State of the City, if you happen to, at some point in the next several years, be living in outer space or working in outer space, you might very well be living in a Gravitics module that was was built right here in good old Marysville. But it's a cool company. They've been funded with $20 million to get going, and they hope, I think, by 2026 to have something to test. And so that's a really neat story. Who would have thought in Marysville, in our Cascade Industrial Center, you'd have companies like that? You know, and Arlington's got Evian, I think it's Evian Aerospace, an electric airplane company. There's a lot of great things going on out there. So some more community development highlights. Under permitting right now is the Everett Clinic on Soper Hill, Salacia Food Processing out in the Cascade Industrial Center, James G. Murphy Auction. We're proud to have Kendall Subaru as well, and just great to see what's happening out there. So our downtown and our waterfront is another key area of focus. The new Civic Campus, I think, plays a huge part in that. We'll touch on that a little later. We have a downtown stormwater facility that you might have seen if you're on First Street on the south side. There's a big mound of dirt. Jeff and his team are putting together what will be a great stormwater project there. We got a grant for about $7.5 million from the Department of Ecology. Thank you to the state for that. Yeah, there's a visual of it right there. So what I love about their concept that Jeff and his team have put together is the goal of here is environmental, to clean stormwater and reduce pollution that goes into our estuary that we've worked really hard to clean up over the last decade or so. But they've turned it into what will be hopefully a kind of a walkable park-like atmosphere. So it won't just be a nuts and bolts stormwater facility. It'll actually be something that fits in with kind of our downtown plan. The Riverwalk project is something we're really pursuing as well. The city has purchased a number of the properties down along the waterfront to hopefully develop some for public park space, some to flip back into the private sector with some of the development. We'd like to see some living places down there, some multifamily. We would like to see some recreational opportunities come in from the private sector, and also some really fun retail to complement the awesome retail we already have on 3rd and elsewhere down there. So look for that. That's a long-term plan. These things don't happen easily, but Terry, our economic development director, and Gloria are doing a great job, and we're meeting regularly. I've been in several meetings with potential folks that are looking to come down here over the last several weeks. So we'll hope to be able to announce some things throughout 2023. You can't do any of this without transportation infrastructure. We're blessed to have big transportation infrastructure. I want another shout out to our local state legislators and our local federal delegation that has really supported Marysville when it comes to transportation infrastructure. And thanks to them. They deserve a lot of credit for this. And the council and I and our staff has lobbied hard for these projects. We've tried to be smart about investing some local money and getting design and things to a certain stage where we're really effective at applying for grants. You'll start to see, I've been talking about this for so long that you're probably sick of it. Well, we're actually going to start to see it constructed this year, the I-5 SR 529 interchange. In fact, probably in the next couple of months, you'll see them doing some lane movement on I-5. So this project between 2023 and by the end of 2025 should be fully constructed. It's an extra HOV lane from Marine Drive in Everett to this new SR 529 interchange. A northbound off-ramp onto SR 529, a southbound on-ramp from there. So everybody won't have to cram into 4th. This will help us. It'll help Tulalip. It'll help everybody. We have a lot of through traffic, too, that comes through Marysville to get up to 9, to go to Arlington or Granite Falls or the county areas or wherever. And so you can also get around the train tracks with this new interchange, which will be exciting. We built the First Street bypass in anticipation of this. It's already complete, so we've built the local infrastructure to deal with this as it comes off of that interchange so it doesn't all collide at 4th and State there. A lot of our housing communities, a lot of our development is going on up to the south in the Sunnyside area. So a lot of these people will be able to get off that interchange, go up the First Street bypass, and just shoot up towards 9 or into their community, into their areas of living. So we're excited about that. Hopefully that'll help the 4th Street exit as well, move from a failing interchange to a more usable one. And we're excited about this project. One good thing, too, is that they're not planning on shutting down lanes on I-5. I mean, I'm not saying that'll never happen, but the goal is to just reconfigure the lanes throughout this so you'll still continue to have 3 lanes for most of the work there. What are some local infrastructure projects? Well, you probably saw the 100 to 104th State Avenue widening. We got another state grant for that, $6.2 million. Kudos to our staff for getting these grants as well, and thanks to the state for funding them. It's over $6 million. All these grants come in, and that means we're not spending your local tax dollars on this. We are in the sense that you send the money to the state, obviously, but we're getting that share back into your community. So 100 to 104th is now widened to 5 lanes. We will go out and be building over the next year and a half or so. The 5 lanes from 104th to 116th and all of state will be 5 lanes. Great job by our team in that. So it's not just building new roads and bridges, it's maintaining what we have. Pavement preservation, we have a record number of pavement preservation projects coming. About 3 million of them funded through federal grants, thanks to that. And then a number of the others funded by the Transportation Benefit District that you all voted for about 9 years ago. Thank you for that. It allows us to invest about $2 million plus a year in maintaining our roadways so that they don't break down on us, and that's critical. The Grove Overcrossing Project, we've talked about that a lot. I want to thank Congressman Larson as we got a $3 million federal grant to go towards that project just about 3 or 4 months ago. The city's put about $500,000 towards it, and the state of Washington has put about $5.4 million towards this project. Thank you to our state legislators as well. Senator Hobbs, Senator Leas, and a number of others have been influential in that. So we've got about, what does that give us, about $9 million towards the $24 million project, $8 million. I think we need $16 million more to fund this. So what we do in Marysville, the council and I and our staff, is we pick these projects we want to accomplish. We keep lobbying for them at the state and federal level till we have them funded. That's how we got the I-529 interchange, the 156th interchange, the State Avenue projects. Now we're working on Grove and some others. But our number one priority, which I'll mention later, is at I-5 4th at 88th roundabout projects. So we've kind of bumped Grove down the list this year and our other projects, and we've been in Olympia lobbying for that project, which would add roundabouts at 4th, both on the Tulalip and Marysville side, and on 88th. There's not a lot of options for 4th and 88th, particularly 88th on our side with the cemetery, and then there's challenges on the Tulalip side as well. So we've come together with our friends at Tulalip to jointly make this our top priority this year. We met with over 10 legislators in one day. The council and I presented this as basically our ask for transportation this year. We're very encouraged. We also had Congresswoman Susan Del Bene out. She now represents Marysville with redistricting. Showed her both 8th and 44th just earlier this week. She's going to look at congressionally directed spending for that. I know Tulalip's applying for some grants as well, and we've met with Senator Leas on it. And so we hope that project gets fully funded this year. That project is a $53 million project. Tulalip already has $34 million for that. We've put $1 million in for some money as well to do some things on our side, property acquisition and whatnot. So we need about 18 to 19 million more. There'll be a slide on that at the end too. So that's where we're at with that project. So as we begin to get close to wrapping up, think of any questions you might have. And I wanted to go through quality of life items, though. First of all, citizen report functions. You can report a pothole, you can report graffiti, or you can report an abandoned shopping cart, which is Councilmember Richard's favorite, on our website. I don't think, he might not be here, but anyway, please use those. That helps us keep our community clean. Again, you can report all those on our website. We'll clean them up. I think the next one is pickleball courts. I don't know about you, but I played pickleball for the first time after we got these beautiful courts installed, and now I'm hooked. Our whole family's hooked. We're out there regularly in the spring and summer. I want to thank the council for funding this project. Thank our staff for putting this thing together. It was about 8 months that this was constructed. That's a breakneck speed. And now we have a community asset that is the envy of many in the county. So it's an awesome asset to our community. A new community center that we just opened at the old courthouse. It's about 3 times larger than the old community center. I love going in there. It's packed with people of all ages, and we just have a great community asset in our community center. Strawberry Fields, we have a partnership with Snohomish County. They gave us $1 million, $140,000 from Amazon and some city funds to turf this field, add bleachers and fencing, and we're just excited to see this constructed later this year. And then a pump track. We had an open house for this that was packed. A Facebook post that got tons of great comments on this. We're hoping to bring in here as well later this year. If you've never been to a pump track, look it up online. You'll find it's extremely popular, and people travel long distances to get to them. And then Mother Nature's Window, thanks to Congressman Larson, again, we got $750,000 grant for this. We hope to be able to put in a parking lot, harden the trails, and do some things to open this to the public in the next year or so. And so the last slide gives you our legislative priorities. There's that I-5 4th and 88th that I mentioned, our number one priority, and then others on down the line. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to come over here and share this with you. It's a true honor to serve as mayor. I love this community, the community spirit, the volunteer spirit. We have a community that really rallies. Everything from our cold weather shelter run by Link Northwest at Bethlehem Community Church and the people that volunteer for that to several other things. So I'm happy to take a few questions. I want to thank you for all you do for our community. Yvonne, do we have time for a couple questions? Two or three questions. Love questions if you've got any. Would love to take those now. Where's the pickleball court? Jennings, it's at Jennings Park, the ball field side. Good question. Thank you. Yep, we got a question over there.
Just want to say thanks, Mary Nehring. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pardon my ignorance. It's hard not to notice the industrial park and all of the high density that's going in Lakewood. And I'm just wondering, is there a more robust strategy to kind of incorporate Lakewood into Marysville and like park strategies, those kinds of things? Yeah. And just wondering if you can expand a little bit.
Yeah, great question. Lakewood is a quickly growing area. There's no plans right now to expand our urban growth area and where we would annex in the near future. But we do have a lot of that area is in Marysville city limits. We do realize the need for park improvements. That was one of the driving forces behind that Strawberry Fields improvement that I just said. I should have noted there will be a nice park facility there that the council also funded. So you will see a playground type parks facility at that Strawberry Fields at 156th. I should also note from transportation infrastructure, 156th, that we built that overcrossing over a decade ago with the idea of it becoming a full interchange. That is now funded to be a full interchange, fully funded through Connecting Washington. And so you'll have interchange infrastructure. We're working on a local road network out there to help people get around. We know it's challenging right now. We're working on that. And then, yes, park improvements. We partner with your facility, Link Northwest, out there to try to provide some social services out there. So we are in realization that we need to do more and more out north, and there's actually dollars primed for that right now in those improvements and some others. What other questions? Any more? All right. You know what? I do want to say again, thank you. I love this community. I appreciate all that you all do in the community. I know there's a host of people here that do amazing things in our community, for whether it's running a business or volunteer efforts or whatever. It's an honor to serve you. Thanks again.
Can we give him another round of applause? Now for a second portion of our morning show, please help me welcome Brian Trendler from LaughtTech to the stage.
Just a minute. All right. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Good. Okay. So listen, we have a lot of stuff to cover and like 10 minutes to do it in, okay? So I need your absolute utmost attention. We're going to go ahead and do the open networking. This is going to be the table networking where I don't see my bell up here. I'm going to have to go ding every 1 minute, but we're going to have networking at the table. So what we're going to do is the first person, either male or female, closest to me, so closest to the stage. Oh, my bell's right there. Who's the ding-dong now, huh? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just introduce yourselves. Tell everybody around your table something about your company, maybe what separates you from your competition. You have exactly 60 seconds. So once you hear this, okay, it's when we move on to the next person. So are we excited? All right, good. Get your business cards out. Be ready to pass those around. And if we're ready, go ahead and start. Here we go. All right, everybody, thank you so much for participating in that. Go ahead and wrap up your commercials. Make sure you got business cards from everybody and connect outside of the meeting. That's the key thing about these events, okay? Can I get everyone's attention redirected up front, please? I got to keep ringing the bell. Folks, we got 30 minutes of stuff to do in about 15 minutes, so I really need to get your attention back up here. Thank you so much. I need to get the following brand new chamber members to come up to the stage. We need to get this going as fast as possible. I need the following businesses to come up and give a 1-minute commercial. Addict Products, Create a New You, Coaching, LLC, Gaymerica Healthcare, Holman Recovery Center, IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, KCN Benefit Advisors, LLC, Merker Enterprise, Two Men in a Truck, Washington Home Inspections, and Workforce Snow Homage. Can I get a round of applause for the new members? All right. You're taller than I am, my God. Okay. So go ahead and give your 1-minute commercial, and remember, impress, right? There we go.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here. I'm with a company called Attic Projects. We do the ugly side of construction. We do the stuff that nobody thinks about, and after I talk here, I want you guys to think about your attic and crawl space. Most of our work is derived through rodents, mold, ventilation problems, things like that. We come in, sanitize. We offer a 10-year warranty on rodent proofing so it doesn't happen again, and it does affect your home's health and cleanliness and stuff like that. So I just ask that you think about that, and then you give us a call if you think you have any issues there. We'll be happy to do a free inspection. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. All right. Create a New You. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Val Peck, and I am a life guide. Some people might say life coach. But my why is that I spent 40 years in healthcare as a registered nurse, meeting people at their point of need, sometimes in some really ugly places. I retired, and then I realized that I still needed to help people at their point of need. And so my why is still helping, still reaching out. Your why is that your life is full of sometimes challenges and pain points. And I have power tools to help you awaken yourself. Carl Jung said, "Those that look outside dream. Those that look inside awaken." I can help you awaken your true self. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Gaymerica is not here today. Okay, Home and Recovery. And from here on, I'll just let the next person come up in case you're not in the correct order. You got a minute, right?
All right, here we go. We'll do the watch thing. Good morning, everybody. My name is Edmund Smith. I'm the founder and executive director at Home and Recovery Center. We are the kind of facility that Mayor Nehring was referencing in his talk this morning. We're a 36-bed residential substance use disorder treatment program located in a brand new 14,000 square foot facility up on Smoky Point Boulevard. We've been open for about a year. We've served, successfully graduated out of our program about 280 clients, and we've had 411 go through the facility in the last year. We work closely with local detoxes and outpatient treatment programs. The majority of the clients that pass through our program identify opioids, methamphetamine as drugs of choice. It's a beautiful facility. We're very grateful for Scott Womack and Grandview Homes for building that facility for us. And we look forward to continuing to serve the community in terms of providing residential substance use disorder treatment services for those that need that kind of care. Our website is homeandrecoverycenter.org. And I also want to recognize Fred Mull, who's one of our board members who's here today. I want to thank the board. And I also want to thank the support of Councilman Nehring, who was very supportive as well. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. It was very nice to meet everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Come on up. Can we get some city funds moved over here so we can get 2 ramps built? The in and out thing? That's about $5.5 million. All right.
So good morning. My name is Christine Carter-Naff. My husband Tom Naff and I have a Medicare health insurance brokerage. We're named KCN Benefit Advisors, your Medicare Solutions, and we work with Medicare planning partners. We are an independent, licensed, and contracted brokerage to help seniors navigate through this crazy world of Medicare. So we start from the very beginning educating people who are coming into retirement or leaving their employers to help them find the insurance that works for them. We advocate for our clients. We're not beholden to any specific insurance company, and there's no cost to work with us. We're located in Smoky Point. We have a classroom setting and offer Medicare 101 classes every single month. And stop by our table and get a handy-dandy flashlight because we always have power outages. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Angie Melby. I'm at IRG Marysville Physical Therapy. We are a physical therapy and hand clinic that has locations all over Snohomish County. In Marysville specifically, we specialize in injury prevention, running, pelvic floor. We have massage therapists. So come see us. You don't need a referral usually from your doctor. We can help get that. So we're kind of a direct access. A lot of people struggle to get into their MD. So if that's you and you have injury, come see us. We treat all ages, mostly adults. We have a pediatric clinic down in Mill Creek. So come see us if you need help.
Thank you very much. Come on up. Adjust it accordingly here. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm one of the franchisees of the local 2 Men and a Truck franchise. We moved here from Everett this past June. We've added storage onto our services that we offer here. And just one of our core values is the grandma rule. Sorry. Our core values is the grandma rule, which I really like, is that we treat everyone the way we want our grandma to be treated. So we drive that through our company and our employees.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks for coming up. All right. Ross? I'm going to adjust this up for Ross. There you go. Higher.
Good morning. My name is Ross Merker. I apologize. There's absolutely no way to make Notary Public Services exciting or wake people up with it. But that is what I do. There are many notary publics throughout the region. I distinguish my services by bringing them to your site at your convenience. SnocoMobileNotaryPlus.com, SnocoMobileNotaryPlus.com, SnocoMobileNotaryPlus.com. Thank you.
Good morning. Robert Eady with Washington Home Inspections. We are a local home inspector, home inspection company providing services to all of the Puget Sound, and we provide pre-inspections for buyers and sellers, and we also do home warranty inspections. So if you are looking or know anyone that's looking for a home inspection, check us out, wahomeinspections.com, and have a great day.
There you go. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, come on up. There you go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taylor Aiken with Edward Jones. I know I wasn't on this list, but Yvonne said it was okay. I missed last month's business before hours. I've got the newest Edward Jones office in the Albertsons parking lot off 4th and State. Thank you, Mayor, for making that place awesome. I appreciate it. I think most folks know Edward Jones as retirement planning and an investment firm, but what surprises most people is we are the most competitive business checking and savings account out there. Our firm has given folks a little over 4.5% on your cash at the moment, and you can get even higher if you keep it in there for a little bit longer. But if you guys have any questions on that, give me a holler. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. Hello there, I am Sam Samano, and I am with Workforce Snohomish County. Now, I want you to think of this, because we are partnered with WorkSource, but Workforce helps the source. So always remember, it's the force that I'm with. And our vision is overreaching. The goal of Workforce Snohomishes is to underpin and understand the economic health and vitality in Snohomish County for both job seekers and businesses. I'm a business engagement specialist, so I want to find out what you need as far as the whole business cycle, whether or not you're hiring or you need to lay off some individuals, or if there's construction and you don't want to lose them, shared work, all kinds of lovely things to help you stay in business. But one of the things we want to do is create better strategic alignment throughout the country, the county. How much longer do I have? Identify data-driven sector employment pathways and partnerships, business, labor, education, and nonprofit sectors. Thank you so much. Sam Samano, Workforce, Snohomish.
I think one or two of our new members were short, so I gave her like 8 seconds. All right. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Well, another warm round of applause for our new members. Thank you so much for becoming part of the Chamber. We now have the table showcases here. We had a whole bunch today, overflow as a matter of fact. So I need a representative from our ACE Handyman Services, City of Marysville, Evergreen Goodwill of Northwest Washington, KCN Benefits, Laugh Tech, ooh, hi Marcel, Largo Tents, Red Curtain Foundation for the Arts, Sherwood Community Services, U.S. Bank. Come on up here. One at a time, you're going to give a 1 minute, dictated very, very strongly, like bull, commercial. So come on up, one at a time. Don't be shy. First up, there we go.
Hi, I'm a little short. Hello, my name is Cassidy Aldrich. I work with City of Marysville Emergency Management. We have a table over there that I'll just invite you to. We have our Marysville Ready Business Program. We want to support businesses in disaster preparedness and make sure our community can stay thriving and surviving after any sort of incident. So come and see me over there. We have other fabulous resources from other departments that we get to work with in the city and serve you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Come on up, next person. Don't be shy. All right. Grab that mic.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, my name is Cristina Almeida. I own Largo Tents. I, along with my husband, we are located on exit 199. We are the first tent manufacturing company here in Marysville. We love our community. And what we do is, I'm going to also invite you guys to come to our table. I have chocolates there. And you can see a lot of what we do. We have a lot of pictures, prints, and we mostly work with the rental industries. Whatever they rent you, we manufacture. So not the chairs, but the tent part. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I just like the ways she said, chocolate. That was the best part of my morning. Thank you.
Good morning, once again. Just keep in mind that spring's coming, and we typically start booking out deck refinishing. People start calling now to get on the books because once the weather turns, it's going to get real busy. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Get on the books, get on your radar so we can get those decks ready for you for this spring. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Come on, Rhonda. This should be about right for you.
Don't worry, I'm not shy. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Snyder, and I am on the board of the Red Curtain Foundation for the Arts. And if you haven't heard of us, we are a local nonprofit community theater here in Marysville, located in the same building as the Goodwill around the back. And we need your support. That is how we are able to put on our shows during the theater and to do our programs for the kids in the summer is through ticket sales and sponsorships and volunteers. So if you're looking to support the arts, feel free to come talk to me, and I have some information over at the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. Should have asked for applause as you were coming down. There you go.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tanya Seiler. I'm with the Evergreen Goodwill of Northwest Washington.
If you didn't know, every time you shop or donate to Goodwill, it pays for free job training and education programs in the 5 counties around us. I manage the Snohomish County Center in collaboration with a bunch of community partners and workforce development. Hey, Sam. We are starting up a series of classes, registrations starting next week. If you come out to the table, there's a bunch of flyers. And these are basic skills classes for the most part, but if you have any employees who want to need some skilling up in Word or Excel, Microsoft products, please send them our way. I have an awesome computer instructor who has an IT certification, and he is just getting people Excel certification and Google Sheets. Please come see our table. 1 minute.
Great job. I learned a new word today, skilling up. That's fantastic. Thank you.
You got it. Good morning, everybody. My name's John DeWitt. I'm with U.S. Bank right across the freeway here. And if you were like me and got in your car this morning at 17 degrees, you immediately thought, I'd like to travel somewhere warm. So we want to help you do that. We actually launched a brand new business travel credit card just last week. And some of the great features on it, we have a launch offer where we're going to get you 60,000 points that you can earn, which is the equivalent of about $600 worth of travel. We have no foreign transaction fees for you world travelers, access to 1,300 priority airport lounges around the world. And one of my favorite options or things on it is there are free employee cards. So if you have employees that you need to send out to get supplies, or that you want them to have a card to be able to get gas for their vehicle, you can actually get them a credit card that's tied to your credit line. You have access on your app to set the limit. You can adjust that limit. You can add employees. You can remove the employees. Really cool feature. So come by and see us at our table. We have flyers. It takes 5 minutes for you to apply right on your phone, and you will have the ability to travel wherever you want.
All right. Also, for anyone who has a raffle to give away and do a drawing for, can you also start to line up along the wall here so we keep things moving? Marcel.
Hello, everyone. So do me a favor and pull out your phone real quick. And I want you to look at your camera roll and see how many videos you've filmed in the last year or so. 2, 5, 500? My name is Marcel with Laugh Tech, and we help people develop their mix of humor so they can be more confident on stage, at the microphone, podcasting, or on video. So as the mayor shared, there are some issues in Marysville and other cities. I believe that your phone, this mobile device, can help you film, empower, educate, inform, maybe even entertain if you come to a Laugh Tech workshop. But you have this remarkable opportunity in your hands, and we want to help you develop your mix of humor so this doesn't freak you out. So if you're out there thinking, I would never go up there, we could help you with that. And if you think you should be on stage or you should be on camera, definitely check out our table, because we would love to support you on your journey as a public speaker and entertainer. So with that, thank you.
Great job. Thank you. All right.
I'm back. And Medicare is so thrilling, and you're so excited. But I have to tell you, for those of you who are self-employed business owners, keep in mind that as you start entering into that maybe potential retirement age, you may have special rules or requirements that are subject to you being a self-employed business owner. So we're here to answer those questions and help you navigate to get you to the point where you need to be for coverage, and you keep working strong into your retirement years. Everybody knows someone who is turning 65 or is on Medicare, and we're here to answer those questions. If we can't help you, we will get you to the person who can. So thanks again. Christine Carter-Naff, Tom Naff, KCM Benefit Advisors, your Medicare Solutions.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, all of our tabletop sponsors. And now we got to blast through the raffle. So you have 30 seconds to give a commercial. Oh, excuse me. One last table. We love you, Jessica.
Yeah. Last but not least. I'm Jessica with Sherwood Community Services. We're a nonprofit out of Lake Stevens. We provide early intervention and vocational services to children and adults with disabilities. I wanted to say really quick, I also have a raffle, so I have 2 minutes, right? I have lived in Marysville, I'm going to be really vulnerable here, for over 40 years. And my husband and I just bought a house in April. So I want to say thank you, Mayor Nehring. Thank you for everybody involved in making Marysville the city that it is and making me want to come back and place roots here. So thank you. Now, raise your hand if you've been impacted by autism. If you have a friend, a family member, a loved one, you yourself. So I invite you, we have partnered with Work Opportunities, the ARC of Snohomish County, and Everett Historic Theater. We are doing a free screening of a short film called Duke next Wednesday. It's about a young man with autism and how he learns to communicate with the world. So I please invite you. It's free from 5:30 to 7:30 next Wednesday at Everett Historic Theater. So please come. And there's going to be a Q&A with the director and representatives from Sherwood, the ARC, and Work Opportunities afterwards. So please join us for this engaging conversation.
All right, we got to get going.
And popcorn.
So our first raffle.
And I have a raffle. I have a custom live edge charcuterie board made by our CEO, Lance Morehouse.
So I'll hold that for a second, and you grab a card. We just got to get you. All right.
Robert with Beef Jerky Outlet.
There you go. Take the card with you so it doesn't go back in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, come on up. Next raffle. Ooh, a mug. Travel mug.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Ryan Brown, Link Northwest, making connections for stronger communities. I have a small shout out to last night. We completed our cold weather shelter. We served 946 beds since November, and thank you. Love that. This week, since it's so cold, Community Transit is offering free transportation to every cold weather shelter in Snohomish County. So if you know people that need that assistance, let them know. Thank you, Community Transit. And I'm giving away a water bottle full of Snicker bars to... Who is this? Shannon Ingram?
There you go, over there.
Because Shannon wants more Snicker bars, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, come on up. All right. Quickest 30 seconds in the world. We're behind.
The quickest?
Yes.
Oh, you sure? Okay. What I didn't say also is if you're hiring, please reach out to us. We have quite a few students that have a ton of skills, often bilingual, multilingual. So just send us an email. Michael is gone already, but Michael is my employment specialist. Everybody probably already met him. He's the one who works directly with students to get them jobs. So if you're hiring, reach out to us first. I have two $25 Goodwill gift cards. So
right,
one,
so two polls?
Two polls.
Outstanding.
This is Angela Melby.
IRG. Yep.
IRG.
Okay.
And
you can take the cards with you in case you don't connect with folks.
sticking to
There you
it.
go.
Is it? No. Rhodey Kappa. KPA. Roti
Yes.
Kappa.
U.S. Bank. Rhodey
Are they
Kappa.
here? They have to be here, right?
They gotta be here. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
They're in there.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go get them. Thank you. All right, next up. So it's the mayor's fault. We're like 10 minutes behind, so go as quick as you can.
Good morning. I'm Connie Menny with the City of Marysville, and you're going to want to win the luck of the Irish today with our City of Marysville basket. There's all sorts of fun things, but the coolest part is date night at the Opera House on St. Patrick's Day for Stark Raving Plaid.
Awesome. There you go. Just one.
The winner is Katie Stevenson, Marysville Toyota. Are you here, Katie?
There you go.
Good morning, Renee James with Hometown Value Savings Magazine. We're a direct mail publication, getting the word out about all our local merchants. Be looking for your new Marysville Tulalip issue mailing out next week. I have a $25 gift certificate to Lizzie's, one of our wonderful vendors here. Yeah. Beautiful, sparkly things. So let's see who's going to get that. Andrea from U.S. Bank. Is she here? All right.
And back. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Yepes. I'm with Pacific Premier Bank. I am located on State Avenue. If you guys are looking to do a business review, please reach out to me. We're also doing home equity lines of credit. We have killer rates on savings accounts, and I am giving out 2 tickets that I won from Rhonda for the Red Curtain Arts Center, the Taming. So, yeah. And this is for Genevieve with Marysville Toyota.
Yeah, that table's winning. Go for it, man. Thank you. Hey, Trouble.
Nathan with Pure Clean Carpet Cleaning and Pure Dry Restoration. We have a bottle of award-winning Bianchi Vineyards 2020 Syrah, 2 cool wine glasses, a $50 gift card to carpet cleaning, and a high five from me. Taylor from Edward Jones.
Awesome. Taylor, right there. Hey, Rhonda.
Hi again. I am also a business banker with Coastal Community Bank, and Coastal is a proud supporter of the Red Curtain Foundation for the Arts. So we have a little basket here of some Red Curtain stuff and some goodies, and this cup here. If you bring it with you to see the show, you get a discount on your beverage. Jennifer with Puget Sound Energy. Jennifer Ashlock.
There you go, right over there. Thank you. Great job.
Good morning. I'm Amy with Relax Mind and Body Massage. We are located in Smoky Point. Super easy access off of I-5. We have free parking, and we give out free smiles, and you have to pay for your massage. But you're going to get some really cool stuff in this basket. Some body products, a candle, some chocolates, and a bunch of information, as well as some free samples.
Awesome. There you go.
Scott Peterson.
Scott's here? You got to be president win. Scott, if you're here, raise your hand. He's gone. Draw again.
Okay.
Oops. I sounded too happy there.
Okay, they're stuck together.
Yeah. Only one. There you go.
Steve Muller from the city of Marysville. Gone.
Okay.
Good Lord.
We're trying, Yvonne.
Tony Matthews from Coastal.
She's here.
Yay.
All right, go get him. All right, thank you. All right, lickety split.
I've got a car care kit. It's got car cleaners, everything you need to clean your car.
Car stuff.
Sid Logan, PUD.
Sid? All right. Great job. Hey, Marcel. 15 seconds.
So, whether you're called to serve the city, your neighborhood, your sales team, or you just need some self-motivation, you're going to want this. So, it's a free 60-minute Zoom consultation with both Brian and myself, $195 value. Who wants it? I might pick you. It'll be fun, I promise. If anything, we'll have fun. Cesar Osorio?
Jay's flooring. Cesar?
Woo, all right.
Thank you, Marcel. Good job, Cesar. Hey, come on up.
Hi there, I'm Tracy with Tulalip Resort. For those of you who don't know, we have a couple of concerts coming up, Genuine and Gin Blossoms. They're both sold out, but good news, Gin Blossoms opened up a second show, so they're doing 2 shows now, and there's tickets available to the second show. I'm not giving those away today, but I do have a gift certificate for $75 at Blackfish Restaurants.
Ooh, almost better.
Almost.
Yeah.
Close.
All right, ask him to raise their hand.
Patrick Knighton Jr.,
I think he's in back. Is Patrick in here?
Night Vision. Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much. All right, everybody, that's it for my part. Thank you so much. I appreciate you paying attention and going quickly. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Go for it.
Hey, I'm Cesar from Jay's Flooring, and I don't have it with me, but I have a really good floor cleaner. So if after you use these, it doesn't clean your floors, you need to come see me.
Okay, there you go. Hold it. Grab it.
Felicia Kreider.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you. I thought he was going to give away the gift certificate he just won from us. He's like, I don't want this. All right, go for it.
So I have 2 business before hours coupons that are good until June. Does June have 30 or 31 day, guys? 30. So it'll expire into June. Pull one card. Don't give it away. I think Rudy's gone. Do you want these, Tracy, though? Rudy? Oh, there you are, Rudy. I thought you left. Regift them? Jonathan. Do you want to say anything before I close it out?
Yeah. I just want to say really quickly that Marcel and I are part of a number of different chambers, and you guys and gals absolutely rock the Casbah. Yvonne, you're doing an incredible job. You're close to 250 members and more applications pending. Keep it up. You're all amazing. Thanks for the bacon. Round of applause for our staff here who worked very hard for all of us today. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Brian Trandler, Laugh Tech. Come see us over there. Thanks, everybody.
So just before everybody goes, 2 seconds, and then I'll let you all go. Upcoming events, our slideshow is having some technical difficulties, but our flyers are all out there. Next week we have February 28th is Latino Networking. March 2nd is our Military Resource Fair. March 31st is our next Business Before Hours, and that's with Washington Retail Association. They'll be talking about DEI and how employees help with all of that. And then save the date for June 10th golf tournament. Marysville Toyota is our big sponsor for that again. So if you're interested in playing, let us know ASAP. Big thank you to our sponsor today, Ace Handyman Services, to our chamber volunteers and emissaries, to the mayor for his address this morning. Thank you for all that wonderful information. Thank you to Tulalip Resort Casino for their great service and delicious breakfast. And a big thank you to all of you for being here. Okay, I'll let you all go. Have a great day. Thank you.